let's just get into it.
Thank you. Welcome to Real Conversations with Melody Fox. I'm your host, and I'm so glad to be here in the RL Hotel, One the Living Stage. And this is a series that I created so that we can come together and have intimate discussions with people of note. And I mean, that's from celebrity to regular everyday folk that have compelling stories to share. Because it's so important for us to, grow from that information. For me, my background is journalism. I started my own newspaper here in Brooklyn, New York in the late 90s. And I've interviewed so many people. Sister Soldier was one of my very first interviews. And the interview was profound. She talked about her Public Enemy days, about interning at the White House, about being a mom, about being a wife, so many different things. And so I'm a proponent of conversation. So that's what we're going to have tonight. And I want to acknowledge my special guest, Antoine Allen. Yeah. He is the feature tonight. Antoine Allen, raise your hand for the people. Antoine Allen is amazing. And when we get into our discussion, you're going to find out more about his personal journey from having challenges of being homeless and being very transparent about those challenges to traveling all over the world, showing his films being accepted and different film festivals with his feature film, Life is Too Short. And now we have a short film that he has that's running the circuit, and that's The Driving Force. And we have some of the actors. Lester Green, I see you. Tamika, see you back there. So we're gonna get right into that. Thank you guys for supporting film, because guess what? Everybody has to start somewhere. Thank you for supporting Real Conversations. So we're gonna get right into it. And thank you so much for being here.
John, I didn't see you last Sunday.
Yeah, I had an appointment.
I have Antoine Allen here. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
So let's just get into it. Filmmaker, you've traveled all over, but let's talk about your beginnings. Where were you born?
Southside Jamaica, Queens, born and raised.
Born and raised.
Playground, spent most of my days.
Okay, all right. I feel you. And so your family,
Queens, everybody from Queens.
Everybody's from Queens?
Mm-hmm.
So did you grow up two-parent household?
No parents, I was old.
Nope.
In and out the house. Grew up poor like most kids, and had to find my way.
So growing up, having to find your way, what was it that anchored you at that early age? And when you say you had to find your way, what age are we talking about?
Since the day of birth. When you have parents that need guidance themselves, you pretty much on your own. So you got to find your way and find a way that you don't get in trouble. So and you find different outlets to find your way not get in trouble. So I got to this point where you trust in God and trust in my faith.
Mm-hmm. So what was that first opening of creativity for you in that time? Did you know back then that you wanted to do something creatively like film?
Nah, if someone told me I'd be doing this, I'd laugh in their face. I started in the entertainment business. I had a friend that used to make beats. He used to work with Mr. Cheeks, South Shore, Jamaica, Queens, and I was like, that's cool. And they brought me on as a manager. I didn't have no clue that I could manage. But what happened is, when you come from the inner city, a lot of guys don't know how to read, don't know how to write, they just don't know. So I had that knowledge of the business side of it. So once they brought me in, things started moving. They started reading contracts, production deals. So I managed a couple artists, did that for a while. And when you manage your artists, you would notice, it's like babysitting. You could take them so high, but if they still got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, it's very hard. So I started doing music videos, did that for a while. And it was good, but it wasn't fulfilling something I had inside of it. So with anything, you either give up or reinvent yourself. So I reinvent myself, did my first short film called Split Decision. It was about a female boxer. I didn't know what to do with it, so I submitted to some festivals, won 2 awards. And once I got the buzz of going to those film festivals around the world, I was like, wow, I didn't know you could do this.
And let me jump in there with Split Decision as you go on. Talk about that, Split Decision. What was the inspiration for that, and a snippet about that?
Well, with Split Decision, I never did film before. I did mostly music videos. So when you in the inner city, you get the same ideas. Shooting, killing, drugs. There's nothing wrong with that, but just because that's my past, I want to make that my future. So I throw it outside the box. So I watched a whole bunch of movies, and I watched Rocky and Girl Fight, and I did a female boxing film. And when I did it, I was like, let me do something outside the box. Because the problem is, when you're black and you're in the film industry period, if you do something typical, they're like, they're just doing something typical. So the best way to do anything is do things to the left, outside the box. So I did the boxing film, and it took off, and it was like my first love.
And when you say it took off, what was your marker that
I
it took off?
think my marker was, I won at it's a festival in California called Action on Films. And I was nominated for Best Short. So I'm not thinking I'm gonna win. So when they called my name, I was like, shit. I started doing a Millie Rock. I was like, whoa. So when I won that first award, that's the first validation. And I was like, wow, like this is cool. And I didn't go to school for this. I didn't know no parents in the industry. I just knew that this was something that was like amazing. And that was just my first love. Just getting that validation from somewhere that I had no connections. And I never even been out of LA. I'd never been to LA before. So just going out there, and it's not so much our color. It was like, wow. And once I did that, that was it. That was like, damn.
So did you fly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't take the bus.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. But I'm saying, wait a minute. Don't say that, no. And then sometimes people take that journey.
Yeah. So I took it, and that was one of my best decisions. And I tell people, think outside the box and get around people that make you better. Because you got a whole bunch of people, and like they're saying, you're a small person in the room, you're not gonna learn nothing. So just getting around different people that's like-minded, that's come from different areas, you could learn. And that's what I learned during this whole journey, that you just gotta get around great people that can make you better.
That can make you better.
And have value.
And add value. So give us 3 of your make me better people. 1,
have friends around you that work and have a job. Because if y'all all broke, we ain't going nowhere. 2, anything you do, put God in your life. Because all this is faith. None of this stuff is guaranteed. I don't have a big time uncles and exec. All this is faith-based. So when you got that faith and you have that vision, nothing can stop you. And the 3rd thing is, the first person to validate you is yourself. Sometimes we seek validation from everybody else. And that's the 3 things. And number 4, another thing, number 4, I tell people, stop chasing money, attract money. Stop chasing money, attract money. Sometimes we're so desperate and thirsty and doing things out of desperation. If you just put the work in, the money will come.
Okay, so those tenets are there. Now, what about the actual individuals that were a marker for you, or that were, mentors for you or inspirations for you to make me better people?
I had a lot of great people around me, but I try to look at people that's kind of made it already, so I can better understand their stories, like the Kevin Harts, the Tyler Perrys, the 50 Cents. 50 Cent's from my neighborhood, so seeing him where he at now, it's like, damn. So watching the little people experience it, you could do it. And then, the far you get in this career and life, you just want to meet different people that just have that energy. I'm big on energy, really big on energy. A person could tell you, I love you, I believe in you 1 minute, and then laugh in your face. So you really want to be on energy and getting the right people around you. We all know it when people are around us and we ain't feeling them, but we could press that feeling. But listen to that emotion, man. That inner voice never lie. Never lie.
So speaking about that intuition, how was it for you not having your family and then going on to work with people? Like, did you have an issue with trust, or were there some trepidation because of your past?
I had an issue with trust, but at the end of the day, faith took over. You can't, some people are so tight on their ideas and, I don't want to say nothing, but if someone steal it, it must be amazing. So you got to learn to trust people. Sometimes we come from the environments and we so guarded and on defense, but that's just the environment. That's a small portion of the world. Once you get out there, it's a whole different journey. I went to Spain to premiere one of my films out there, and they don't really speak English. I had to put my film in subtitles. So see the reaction of people, and I won 2 awards out there. It's like, damn, a kid from Southside Jamaica, Queens in Spain. So it's just the faith, man. That's it.
So now, tell us about a day in the life of film production on an Antoine Allen film production. Take us from the first time you did a film, what it looked like, logistically, what you have to do to make that happen. And
well, the first thing is,
now,
once you get the idea, a lot of people got to realize you got to invest in yourself. A lot of people want people to invest in them, but they don't want to invest in themselves. You spend the money investing in yourself and find and get the best people possible. So on my sets, we all having fun, but we to the business, and we want to have a great time. You don't have to be an asshole to get people to do what you want to do. So basically, my set is fun, get the job done, and start promotion. Nothing crazy, just fun and energy, good time.
Say that again.
Fun, energy, and good time. No egos. Just we here to do a project and make it work.
So how much do you stick to the script of when you're doing one of your productions?
I actually don't.
Okay.
I actually, we write those ideas, but when we get on set, we might get ideas. Some directors not like that, but me, I give my actors the freedom to play with the range. Because I might wrote it like this, but they might say something to come up with the idea like, whoa, I didn't even think about that. When I did Driving Force, I just watched my main actor, Lester, he had an idea for something. I said, just go with it. As long as it's true to the story, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, they say artists are sensitive about their ish. So
me,
to let people have that latitude is
with
amazing.
me, I'm just, let's go.
Just get it
going.
So have you ever had a moment that was just like a no, this is not working moment on the set? When
I did my first short film, Split Decision, I hired somebody to come on as an editor. And sometimes when we second guess ourselves, we bring people in to get that validation. Sometimes it can be a dangerous thing. So I brought the person in. He did an edit, I didn't like it. He did 5 edits, I didn't like it. I said, give me the footage back. He made up a lie and said the footage disappeared. I said, footage disappeared. I just spent X amount of dollars on a project and I have no footage. My mistake was I gave him the last hard drive. So when you do filming projects, you should have multiple hard drives. So backups. So I gave him the hard drive. He was mad because I didn't like his project. So he deleted everything. So I called my camera guy to say, yo, you got the footage. He said, I don't have the footage. I gave everything to you. So now I'm reversing back to my old neighborhood style.
The hood coming out, Jamaica,
Queens coming out. So it was going back and forth for months. So I finally went to his house and was going to confront him. I get off the subway. I get my phone ring. So, yo, what's up? My camera guy. He said, yo, you're not going to believe this. I got some of the footage. I said, what? That's only God. Because that could have went so left if I got to this guy's house. So sometimes you really just got to Musa and trust yourself. But make sure when you do any project, you get the right people around you to protect yourself.
Yeah, and have that backup.
Yeah, and sometimes you have friends that you got to separate that. It got to be, we friends, but when we little cut or action, we on set.
Say a bit more about that, like that dynamic of working with people that you have a relationship with.
Yeah, sometimes you got to dare respect you as your position. So with me, whoever work with me, understand that we're friends, but I want to get this done. But sometimes we have friends that feel entitled. And that entitlement can ruin relationships. So that's why when you have people around you, make sure you bring in value. Because sometimes you have friends that's not that talented, but you put them on just to help them out, but you got to separate that because you're sacrificing the art. So really separate that, because your friend could be your greatest asset, your greatest enemy.
Thank you for that. Now tell us about one of those moments that you had that was just like, wow, look, Mama, I made it?
My first feature film, Life Too Short, we went to Cannes, went to Spain. We won 10 awards off my first feature. And from there, I got certain deals on the table. So just doing that, just like investing in myself and winning 10 awards, traveling the world. And this is like amazing because I don't have resources. I don't have friends I could call. This is really me going on faith and having a good team around me. But just doing this, and even here, just talking to people, this is just like, wow, this was not part of the plan. So this is like, wow.
Awesome. Now, Life is Too Short, and that film had so many different elements of people that were really embodying what it is that your life is about, like going for their dreams and their passions. What was it like putting that film project together and those different stories that you
So the film we're talking about is called Life Too Short. It's a feature film that I wrote with my co-writer, and it's basically about no one's promised tomorrow. If you knew the world about to come to the end, what would you do different? And that's basically, you be seeing different life unfolding. So we have a guy in the film that's worked so much on his time with his family. So one day, one of his kids almost get abducted. Then you got the guy that that's married, was afraid to get married, and then something happens to his wife. So just different scenarios that, what if? And sometimes we live life like a rehearsal. The same shit over and over again and don't realize no one promised tomorrow. So I try to live life like it's not my last, but just live it up and build each day the life you want.
Now, thank you for that, did some of your family, after you started to do what you are doing and make your successes, did some of those people that weren't there in the beginning, did they come back around?
Yeah, that's
the vapors?
That's another thing too. Try not to get mad at people don't believe in your vision in the beginning. You have to remember it's your vision. Some people be like, oh, you support the other people, the Beyoncés, the Jay-Z's. Yes, they made it already. So try not to get mad because remember it's your vision. And sometimes you can't get mad at somebody that don't believe in their own self. If they don't believe in it, how they gonna believe in you? But the more you start doing things, the more Facebook likes you get, the more texts you get. Hey, I believe in you. It's part of the journey. It's part of the journey. You just gotta go with it.
So you just embraced it.
Yeah,
and
embrace
just
it. Because now, now you can come to my event, I charge you double. So that's it.
Now let's go forward with the process of casting, because there's so many tiers to putting together a film like that. Like, by the way, Driving Force, opening scene, all of that, the aesthetic and optics. Let's talk about casting. How does Antoine Allen Films go about casting their characters?
Well, I cast it a little different. It's more energy and seeing what I could do with the person. Since I came from the music business, I don't need to see a big giant. I can hear raw talent when I see it. So casting Lester, Lester worked on my last project. And Lester and Tamika, they both on this season of Power. I knew they could embody this character I was looking for. So sometimes I hear the story, I know the actors, and then you have to audition. Matter of fact, none of y'all audition. I just said, listen, I got something for you, and we get in a row. So I cast a little bit, a little different. And then from there, just knowing what you could do as a director. Because sometimes you have actors that are not that great, but if you pull it out of them, you could really make some magic happen. Like Driving Force, we shot that one day.
Just say it. What? Say that again.
We shot Driving Force in one day.
Start to finish, whole production.
Yep.
No take twos, one day.
One day, shot it.
It's amazing. And what's your camera of choice?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. No, I feel you. No, because some people have a special camera and then some people use the phone.
You can have the best camera in the world. It's all about the outcome. Because I've seen people with the best high quality cameras and you look at their camera like, how much you pay for that? Like, what is this? So it's really, it was a film called, I forgot the name of it. Like 2 years at Sundance. They shot the whole film on the iPhone 6. Tangerine. They shot the whole film on the iPhone. So it's really the result. It's like having the best project in the world, but no one gets to see it. It's really the outcome and result. That's what it comes down to. Like we in Brooklyn, Money and Violence. They didn't do the best project in the world, but the end result was like, wow, look what they did with that. So we have people that don't really have nothing, they making it. It's really what you do with it, what you have.
Working with what you have. So the aesthetic of the films are like so powerful. Did you ever have a passion for photography?
Straight God gift. I can't even say I went to film. This is YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube videos but this is straight a God gift.
So no formal training, no
Nope.
formal
Nope.
film school.
Nope. This is straight me, Google, and YouTube. Learning stuff and trying to be the best. That's it.
So now let's move forward to the film festivals, because you are the producer of the October Film Festival, and that festival has been doing its run, bringing on. How did that come about?
Well, she's talking about film festivals. They have tons of film festivals in the world. And there's one film festival in New York that's really great called October Film Fest. I was there one day as a regular filmmaker showing my film. And sometimes, like me, I want more. I just don't want to be a filmmaker. I want to be the entrepreneur, the producer. So the founder, I told her what I could do for her festival. I was so confident that, listen, I could do something for your festival to make your film festival greater than what it is. And she bought my pitch, and now I'm a partner of the festival. And I also started my own festival called Validate Yourself. And I started my own festival because traveling to all those festivals are great, but majority of them don't show the content I want to see. Instead of me complaining on social media, I'd rather be part of the solution.
So tell us, for those that don't know, what's a typical film festival like?
I mean, you go there, show films. If you don't have the biggest name or the biggest promotion, they act like you're not even there. So that's pretty much it. It's nothing really, you know, it's film festival, you show your work, you promote, and that's pretty much it. But I started my festival because it was a need for something I seen that wasn't there. So instead of me waiting and complaining, be part of the solution.
So what's the Validate Yourself Film Festival difference?
Validate Yourself is basically empowering filmmakers that you don't have to wait. Actors, you don't have to wait for a casting director or anybody to tell you you're great. But start producing your own stuff. This is a knowledge I'm empowering people that stop doing the method that was in 1990 or 80s. We sit back and wait. It's kind of like you do good enough and you wait. If you're an artist, sit back and wait. Now you don't have to. Now you can pick up a camera, invest in yourself, and promote and do it on your own. So a lot of people that's real talented is not reaching their full potential, not because they're not talented, because they're doing the same methods. If you spend 85% of your life waiting for someone to tell you you're great, you're gonna be 20, 30 years and that's what's gonna happen. But if you do both, 80% for yourself, 20% for everybody else, that's more better. You can raise your percentage higher. So I tell everybody, whatever you wanna do in the entertainment business, stop waiting. Let the stuff come to you. If you build it, it will come.
And thank you. What's your foremost inspiration in terms of a director, a filmmaker? Who's that one that you look to or looked to before? You say, wow, this is an awesome.
Probably Tyler Perry. Because Tyler Perry really built an empire without Hollywood. Matter what you say about him, he showed you that you do it yourself. So Tyler Perry probably because the business side is, yes, I love the Spike Lees, the Antoine Fort Warrens, but Tyler Perry showed me that, damn, I don't really have to wait for a organization to tell me I'm great. I can really build it myself. Tyler Perry did no different than what Jay-Z did with Rockefeller, what 50 Cent did with G-Unit. Create your own empire and let them come to you.
Let it. And Tyler Perry was homeless at one point.
Yeah.
He was living out of his car. So what were those moments like for you? Because you dealt with that
I'm
at
hungry.
one point.
It was dope. Yeah, I was homeless for like 6-7 months. Moms, with the boyfriends and the kick-out, same old story. So, I was homeless. Had to do what I gotta do, get off my feet. It was a point to show me that, damn, like, I remember I was in a shelter and I wear size 13. Motherfucker took my shoe while I was asleep. And I wake up, so where my shoes at? Who wear 13 in the homeless shelter? So, it's just things like that to show you that, if you could get past that shit like that, anything's possible.
And then what was that moment that you transitioned from that position to getting out of the shelter or from not being homeless anymore?
Yeah, it's basically, I tell people, if you can, get a steady job. Because this entertainment business is so oversaturated, you need a steady job so you don't make desperate decisions. A steady income helps you pay your bills, and it helps you to kind of float. But when you got no money coming in and you're freelance, it's hard to make strong decisions. So I still work a regular job. Until I get to that point, my regular job helped me fund stuff, help me draw stuff. So when I step in the room, I'm not begging. It's like, let's do a deal.
And so what's that like? Have you had any investors at all?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did that happen?
So I have investors now coming to me, to help me with my next project because I invested in myself. So when I go in those meetings, it's not please help me, it's look what I have. So when you invest in yourself, you come in there and those meetings, you got to separate yourself from everybody else. So if you go in a meeting and they just had a last meeting with 5 other people asking for money, you said, listen, I did this, I won awards. I'm also too, if I have an Apple account, it's a book that's out called the top 100 indie filmmakers in the world. I made number 5 on the list. It's on iTunes right now. Y'all could buy it. But just building your resume before you get to that table. They would just throw money at you because they feel trusted. If I have a meeting and you the investor and person A comes in, person B comes in, hey, I got this great idea, and I come in and say, listen, I got a festival, I got films, I won awards, you feel more trusted to give me the money than the other two. So yeah.
That's awesome. So now let's go on to the personal life. You recently got married.
Yes, I did.
And so
she put a ring on it.
She put a ring. So how is that process for? I mean, like, well, relationship-wise, like, what impact has that had on your life, and does it have an impact on you creatively, like being in a relationship?
I'm glad I waited. I'm 36 now, and I got married. I'm glad I waited because I think as men, sometimes, some of us men, but majority of men, we want to have that cake in it too. I tell everybody, before you get married, get the lust out of your body, get it all out. And I'm glad I waited for this person I'm with now because she deserved the best parts of me. And yeah, it's kind of cute, right? So yeah, so I waited, and it just having a partnership. Because with all this success, you know, it's good to have that partner, but don't rush it. Okay. Don't rush to have somebody just to have somebody, because sometimes you're married, but you're really sleeping with a stranger.
So, and so when you say the best parts, the G-rated version, the best parts of you, what?
Married, sorry.
No, but I'm saying, like, in terms of what
the
is
best
that?
part, meaning before I met her, I was out here in the streets. you know. But you go out there, you meet those different females, but it gets to a point that you wake up and like, you still there? It becomes, to me, it became boring now. After you have the intimate part, it becomes boring now. It's like, pay me a bill, take me out. And you want that. You don't want to be with someone that all they could bring is, looks. That's it. If that's the case, I look at myself. So you want to be, when you're ready for that, you want to get someone that if I'm the CEO of this great company, I need an amazing vice president. So you got to get the right person that you gel with, not just anybody.
So ready for that commitment. That's part
commitment.
of that. How'd you guys meet?
We met online.
What?
Met online.
Talk about it. Black people meet?
Yes, sir. You're nosy. You kind of nosy right now.
I know. This is real conversations.
So yes,
this ain't the Hollywood conversation.
We met online, and it was good because you can have 40 people in your inbox and never go out on a date. Everything on the phone. So
I did not know that.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah. I'm gonna hook you up next.
Okay, I'm waiting. Let me know. No. So what's the advice? I mean, and you've shared so many things today in terms of having the right people around you, believing in yourself, validating yourself. What is that foremost advice that you would give for somebody that's just starting from scratch, that hasn't even gotten to the point of starting to do production for their film? Like, what is the first thing they need to do? Educate
yourself on the business. Whatever you want to do, educate it. Sometimes we update everything, shoes, clothes, phone, we don't update our mind. Go online, research, all the information is there. You just got to take the information and research and read and understand. And once you realize that this is what I want to do, really believe in yourself. And research, and learn the business side of it. Because talent right now is not enough. You really got to learn the business and marketing side. And once you get that going, just step by step learn. If it's a filmmaker, if it's a rapper, it's an R&B artist, learn the business. Because there's a lot of people who have so much talent, but they can't even read their own contract.
That happened in the music industry a lot. A lot of people got done out of their deals because they just didn't know percentages and recoupment and all that stuff. So now, what's next for Antoine Allen Films?
Right now, we're working on some more short films. I got my feature coming out, Lola. Start production next year. It's a female boxing movie. I got my film festivals coming out, and just really doing projects and mentoring and educating people that anything is possible.
So you talk about Lola, and I know Split Decision was a boxing movie. Do you have an affinity for boxing? Is it because you talked about watching Rocky too?
I used to box when I was 18, like Gleason Gym in Brooklyn. So it was good. I just want to do something that's a little bit out the box. And I got a horror film I'm working on. So I have projects in the pipeline that's going. But right now, I got my film festival, Validate Yourself, Labor Day weekend, September 1st, September 3rd. I'm actually giving away tonight 3 All Access Pass tickets for the festival. So you can just go and enjoy, you and your friends, your wife, whatever, your mistress, whatever. And yeah, and then after that, I got Oktoberfest, that's in October. And then from there, just pumping more projects out and get it going.
Thank you so much, Antoine Allen. You gave us a lot today. So, Driving Force, this film, powerful film that ultimately ends with redemption. You, Lester, let's start with you. The character that you embodied was so passionate, like that bus scene was serious. What were you drawing on for that?
Drugs.
Well, I'm a real bus driver.
Oh.
And so it's easy to channel that. And so as a bus driver, you see all kinds of things, you deal with so many different things. So if you notice throughout the film, while I was driving, you can see that I was thinking about something. And I just imagine myself being at work, dealing with all of the stress, dealing with all of the problems, people asking me questions. So you can see that I was just busy thinking. So that's where I drew my inspiration from. It's pretty easy to do that.
Where's the AC, Mr. Bus Driver?
It's too cold in here. It's too hot.
Back door.
Exactly. Oh, back door. That's one of the most popular.
Wow. And now, Tamika, you played the reform drunkard, and you know, at one time you got yourself on the right path. Did you have? How was that for you?
I mean, I just drew from life experiences in terms of like the people I grew up around. I happen to be from down south of North Carolina, so I basically based that character based on one of my friends' stepdads, who was a welder. Also, struggled with some addiction. So that's what I, drew off of. And then, so when we hit set, just interacting with this talented young man right here, you can see that the chemistry that just, that just transpired between both of us. Because I had been wanting to work with him for a while.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you said you struggled, this is real conversation. You said you struggled with addiction.
No, I didn't.
You did?
You did?
No. I didn't struggle with addiction. I said my friend's stepdad.
Oh, your friend.
She's about to go on the AA conversation. Like, tell me more.
So seeing that and being in that moment, you had some direct feelings about that. You were reminded of that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, just personally, anything that I do, I just draw from my childhood. Which is what Stanislavski calls either a substitution or illusion of the first time. So I just took myself back to when I was a child, watching my friends' parents go through their problems, and then all the other adults go through their problems back in the 90s or what have you. And I put myself in their shoes as this man who's made some mistakes in life, who wants to search this man out, make it right.
And Eugene, well, you've worked with Antoine Allen for quite a bit, so you had
Life is Too Short.
Life is Too Short.
Force.
All footage.
Raw footage. What was that
Fighting
one?
for a Second
Fighting for a
Chance.
Second Chance. Producer, hacking on some of the things, just helping them organize and get everybody together.
And how did that come together? How did you guys meet?
And it's a funny story, right? The boxing is short. My nephew knew his partner, the one that
I deleted my footage.
deleted his footage.
Oh.
So, and a friend of ours introduced us. And when I told him that I knew the guy, automatically. He's like, yo.
That's
And I said, nah, I don't know him. My nephew knows him.
Right.
So once we started talking and we started vibing, you know, everything just, you know, we just clicked. And he said, vibe, we both go off the vibe, and our vibe just clicked. And from then on, we just inseparable, traveling together, you know, France, went to France, Spain, Las Vegas. So we just been going out there.
And so driving for us, how was that like for doing that one day? Working, were you there the whole time? And
Yeah, I'm
how
like I
was
said, producing, running around, make sure everybody's, like I said, I'm behind the scenes, I'm with him, making sure everybody's there on time, and I like that. And he was the one, like I was acting, because I was in Life is Too Short, and he was like, you should be a producer. I'm like, I ain't doing that, I'm not acting. And he was like, nah, but you know, you good with people, you make sure everybody's on time. I'm a time person.
Yeah.
And from that, when he, what was it? First we did raw footage, and I produced that with him, and from then on, I've been behind the scenes, little parts here and there, but I like producing. I like making sure everybody's on time and, you know, on set and making sure everybody's doing their thing.
And that's the important part of getting the right people to work with you. That I think sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of times, people have that ego.
What you told him was you forgive him for killing your son.
Yeah.
Right.
I was just telling my people, like, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
That's a hard one for you to be a working man, didn't come from the streets, and you just strictly, you know, you focus on your job. A man that just loved to be with his family and lose his son with somebody from drinking driving. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like when I was back in the street, I would have busted his head open.
But
I'm just being real with you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my son. I only got one son.
Right.
He ain't coming back now. So I really want to see the movie to see how you handled that. Because that was, if that was real life, man, that was the humblest man I ever met in my life. To tell a man you forgive him for killing your son. So that's strong, bro. That's when you know you really got the faith in God.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
you
and-
really know like he's gonna be taken care of one way or another.
Cause I,
second chance.
huh?
Like everybody deserves
Exactly.
a second chance.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would like to ask a question. I really would
Okay,
like
come on up, brother. We'll give you the mic so you can hear you.
I'd like to ask a question. I would like to know, first of all, I commend all of you that actually gave your artistic contribution to the movie. I really would like to know what was the theme behind the emotion that you guys invoked with your art. Like, what was the ultimate concept that you guys wanted to convey to the people out there?
When I was coming,
Being that we haven't seen the movie yet, but
No,
just
we
that-
did.
Oh, I'm sorry, exactly, short story, right? that
No,
was a
no,
short story.
they want, so basically what they saying is they want driving force to feature.
one word, 2 word, cut the check. But when I was coming on with this film, I want to do something with forgiveness. I could have easily went that route. I could have easily bust his head open. But if you notice at the end, his wife got pregnant. A life with second chance.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show that forgiveness because it was by accident. And when you hear the music, you're like, oh, something about to happen.
Right. Yeah.
But I want to really go left because I think that's typical. I want to show how it's powerful for forgiveness. Even when he was in the film, he was shocked, like, you forgave me? So, and when I'm in traveling with this film, I have this person that was like, I'm still afraid of forgiveness. I know I met this lady, she was doing a Q&A like this, and she was like saying that how her sister got killed by a drunk driver, and she can't forgive him, and she know the person. She said she tried to kill him. So just showing that it's hard, but it's nothing you could do. Because if you kill this guy, you going to jail, and then now you got a mom, your wife is a single parent now. So it's forgiveness is very powerful, man, and not everybody can do it. So I really, on this, when I was writing it, I said, let me do something about forgiveness. And let me do it in a way that, how hard it can hit home, and the best way is a child. And then at the end, you see them at the grave and everything, and it just hit real home with it. That's the great thing about doing short films. A short film is like a teaser to show you what you could do. It makes people want more. Like, wow, you did that? And the best thing about short film, without the credits, this is a 7-minute film. We did a lot in 7 minutes. So it really shows you that dance powerful. So yeah. You need the mic?
Yeah, come real quick. And just, you can hold it away from you because it's kind of loud.
So is it cool to do like 7-minute films? Like,
Yeah, 7. If
Yeah.
you
Because
watch,
I've been told that's too short. Like see me, I've been doing this for like 2 years. I'll be having my visions, but in my head, like not even in my head, people in my nah, it's too
It's the
short,
noise.
It's too short. It's too short.
yeah, it's the noise. Someone told me the same thing.
Ignore the noise, bro.
Yeah, it's the noise. Because you gotta realize, when someone says it's too short, you ask them, what have you done?
Right.
But if you look at the shorts, a lot of the shorts, that's 10 minutes winning Oscars. So it's really, I learned not to listen to nobody, to be honest with you. If you haven't done anything, it's hard for me to listen to you. Even though you might have the best advice, but if you're just a person that have so much information, but haven't done anything, I'm good, brother. You can buy a ticket to my premiere.
And
I think we need to see.
And then I think too, it's just the work. Even if you don't win anything, you doing it, you getting experience,
Right.
you getting the work.
Yeah.
Putting it out there.
You
Building
putting the
craft.
work, you getting building the craft, and you getting the credit. People don't realize, like I said, like I told them, I wasn't a producer. Now I got producer credit on 3 films.
And we went to
3
France.
films. And we went to France.
We went to
We went to
Cannes.
Spain. We went to
Niggas
Cannes.
in Paris.
Yes.
We went
Really?
Word, church.
I mean, it
The-
first comes in just loving your craft.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
All that, like he said, all that
I mean,
money
I've
and
been
stuff
in
is
the
gonna
music
come.
business all my life. Grew up in this music business. I love to be a rap artist.
Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, I still wanted to do something implicating music in it. But let me put in gun violence with my music talent.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you go to a kid and tell him you could take him to the studio and develop a whole album and do a video and shop him to a record label, that's a fact. He gonna put down the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, short
Craft.
short films, like research. That's another thing too, like I was saying. We update everything, our food, our clothes, our phones, but it's the knowledge. If you go on Google, you're gonna see, it's a website you can take down right now. Shortfilmoftheweek.com. Tons of short films.
I actually
5
want to
minutes,
see.
10 minutes.
If it's all right with y'all, I actually want to do another Antoine Allen short.
You wanna see
a
another
week
short?
Y'all want to see a short? You want to see one little short? Hey, we might while we in this space, especially for the people that came later. And so you too, working on Driving Force. How was that?
Oh man,
For you?
that was an experience and a half. I actually was invited by Vincent Ford, who I met on another set, and he invited me over to play an extra. But I loved every moment of it, like every single moment. I didn't get bored. I didn't get tired. Actually, when they wrapped it up, I was like, "That's it." You know, I wanted more.
We actually broke the glass on set.
Yes.
Ain't no weed.
It's a it's a scene. That scene that you see him get up from the bus and say everybody get off the bus. His seatbelt hit the glass
Buckle hit the glass.
and broke it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you better shut up. This one, the glass broke. What? Shut up. like, why are you telling?
He's renting the bus.
Like we renting this, we can get away with it. If they get back to the station, don't know this.
Oh,
And the guy who was actually,
But he was there, wasn't
yeah, he was right there.
they got
doesn't matter.
insurance. They had insurance.
I had
I'm sure.
insurance, but sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now, if y'all want, I have a short film that I did. I actually got a distribution deal. It's playing on Amazon now, called Raw Footage. It's another short, and it deals with this actor. He plays the actor
Starring him.
that deals with he basically is gay, and he afraid to come out. And sometimes I tell people, I don't care who you love, but what happens is we have that stigma of it's this and that. Listen, I don't care. I have friends that's gay. I don't give a damn. But I tell people, educate people that you have a problem with that. You have a problem with the guy shooting the kids on the corner, or like it doesn't make sense. But that's why you got to educate yourself and realize that if you in Hollywood, those motherfuckers, half of them gay. They got the money anyway. Cut the check. I don't
I
care.
always say gays and Jews run Hollywood.
He went blind.
Not to advocate.
Not to advocate
not
it,
to
but I tell
advocate,
people that
but
that had nothing to do with your craft.
creatively,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is what it is.
So I want,
I like to say this. I'm sorry. What's gonna stay with me for the rest of my life is what I seen in that little trailer. He says, I've been given a bad break. Well, this is gonna be short.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
okay. It's all right.
Not even want me to say this on the mic, but
Yeah,
I think it was profound, and I'm gonna share that with everybody I come across. And everybody who had bad breaks in life. He says, did he say,
Say it, Lester.
I got a bad break in life, but I didn't break.
Yeah.
And that was like so profound, I was able to relate to that. That just like touched the core of my soul when that said, he said I had a bad break in life, but I didn't break.
And I'm quite sure everybody in the world that experienced something, experienced drama, trials, tribulations, they had a bad break, but we have to encourage one another. We can't break. We can't break. So I just want to say thank you for that, too.
Thank you, brother. And the funny thing about that line...
That's what you said, right?
We added that.
That was your words you said.
No, I was talking about my brother. I said that
So-
he reminds me of my brother.
No, I said when he said the break.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah,
So
I said that. Yeah.
that scene, like I said before, I let the actors say what they want. He came up with that. That was not in the
Well, that's
script.
what you were saying.
Yeah.
Come with something if it go with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we like
Roll
with
with it.
improv. Half of those lines you saw, we improv half of that.
Yeah.
Approximately.
And before we conclude, I want to say a bit about that. Did you want to share something?
About what?
About working on Driving
Oh
Force?
yeah, it was just
introducing?
so much fun. They asked me to come on as one of the executive producers.
And was it your first Antoine Allen
Yes.
film production?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Yes, it was. And but I'd done a little bit of producing on some of my own projects too. So
Okay.
so I had some experience, but it was a lot. We had so much fun, and I was kind of like his go-to guy, runner guy. I was running around doing stuff for him and everything. So
Okay,
And another
you
thing
need
too,
that.
it was fun.
Another thing too, when y'all do those projects, you gotta promote it.
Yep.
A lot of people do projects, you don't see the light of day.
Yeah.
You gotta promote it. 50% is doing the film. The other half, you gotta promote it. A lot of people don't, they just post the same thing on Facebook, and it's really called spam. You gotta do other things. You gotta do other things outside of Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we did a premiere for my first feature, Life's Too Short, and we just sold out a day. We did 3 shows and sold out in one day. So it's really promote your stuff, really promote it.
And what are some of the other vehicles that you would say people should use for promotion outside of Facebook?
Doing your own premieres, doing networking events. If you're doing a love story, do a premiere on Valentine's. If you're doing a cooking movie, give away cooking classes, merchandising. There's so many other options. It's the same. It's like the music business. The same thing, but different product.
Yeah, we were talking about his feature film Life is Too Short downstairs, and he was talking about he's going to release it on Amazon. He's going to have hats and shirts. And
Yeah, just different things you could do.
Yeah, he's going to do the work.
He got the right marketing scheme.
Yeah,
Right, right.
awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Anything you do, you gotta have some type of campaign.
yeah, you have to.
Exactly.
You
Yeah,
gotta
true.
campaign everything.
Yeah, you got.
With campaigning, you gotta have people scared to have those things though. I just told somebody that yesterday. When you put something out, you gotta have something to give away.
Yeah.
If I didn't read your book, I'm not gonna give you $20 to read your book.
Yeah.
If I didn't see the movie, like I seen the trailer now, I
Yeah.
might even be honest with you. I might have wouldn't pay $20 to go see it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get a chance to see the
Yeah.
trailer
Trailer.
too.
Yeah.
And people don't realize this been going on.
You got to do the feature because everybody calling
yeah,
it trailer.
I'm saying that. I don't like to do the feature, please.
Then I'm not
Put it out there. We want that.
don't mean I'm casting y'all. The feature is different budget. Don't just mean I'm gonna keep it cast. But another thing with a lot of people when they do art, you gotta be afraid to talk. You gotta be a people person. A lot of people don't have that. They so caught in their shell, they don't speak. So your work don't go nowhere.
Right.
So that's another thing.
Gotta self-promote.
You gotta be a
That's
mayor. Kiss hands and shake babies.
That's right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're gonna move it then. We're gonna,
Tell everybody you gotta be patient.
Yeah, patient.
When you do, and
Yeah.
you will get success.
Yeah, patient.
Patience.
Patient and consistent is the patient, consistent, and faith is the things you need. And sometimes you gotta be your own best friend. Sometimes you're the only person that believes in you.
Yeah.
There's so much ideas I have. I don't talk to nobody. I just do it
Right.
because I know that sometimes they failure. Sometimes your success is someone else's failure. Meaning, they could read all the books, have all the connections. You could be doing way more than them. And they're like, damn, how you? They feel like they better. You might be, but you've been. And a lot of people don't realize I only been doing this for 5 years. And 5 years, travel, won a lot of awards, and this is the beginning.
awesome. Thank you so much, Antoine Allen and the cast and production of A Driving Force. This is truly something special, and I want to acknowledge you because it takes a special individual to be able to work creatively with other people and to give them some latitude and not thwart their own expression. So that's what you've been doing, and these collaborations that you're having and the productions that you're doing. And it's really a gift because that seed that's planted and that opportunity, you don't know what that's gonna go on to. Just to keep it real, because this is real conversations, meeting you before and then coming on as a host of October Film Festival, you know, it was such an opportunity. In my mind, I hosted a million film festivals because I'm Melody Fox. That's what I do. So in my mind, I've done it before. But I hadn't actually done that before. I've done other things, but I hadn't hosted a full, serious film festival. And so doing that kind of got me in motion, you know, to like, you know what, let me get more visible, let me get out there. And even now, like, I'm here at the Hotel RL on the Living Stage doing this from thought to, you know, concept. And this is something that I had a vision for way before doing the festival, but you got to get your chops in. So to piggyback on that, it's like you got to be in action with what it is that you have, your talent, because you can have it, but if it's in a room or if it's locked up, if nobody's getting access to it, then it's the value is not being transferred. So I want to acknowledge you. Thank you so much, because you are great with conversation and consulting. So and just support, period. So. That's awesome. Thank you. All right. So, all right, give it up. So we'll get into this. And you guys are a great audience. We're going to grow real conversations, but you can get a feel of what this is about. Thank you. You just came in from off the street, and you like just rock with us the whole night. Thank you. No gun smoke, all the people back there. MSKM presents, and you know, in the house. So listen, thank you guys for being here, because this is a seed. We're going to continue to do this, capture legacy, because when, you know, as we go forward and Antoine Allen is doing his thing all over the world, I'm like, you know what, I had him for real conversations right in Brooklyn, and we were, you know, and we were doing this, you know, doing this work. So it's important. I'm, again, a serious proponent of that. We have to capture our legacy, tell our stories, because if we don't, it's so subject to being misrepresented, you know, not properly casted. So I'm so serious about first-person narratives, us being able to have this, because so many people are passing away, and then sometimes we don't get that information. You know, so many people that have like that transferring of knowledge and jewels doesn't take place. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys for, this is my first one here at the Living Stage, so thank you guys for being here.
Yeah. This is to all the schools all over the world. We want education. We want money to build a foundation. We want y'all to put the guns down all over the world, everywhere. Let's turn it up in a different type of way, you heard me? To all my little homies, to all my little homegirls, get your education and let's get this money. We don't want your guns no more, people follow me. We don't want your guns no more. We don't want your guns no more, people follow me. We don't want your guns no more. Your guns no more, people follow me. We don't want your guns no more. We don't want your guns no more, people follow me. We don't want your guns no more. We no kill no kids, we not kill no family. We not kill no young boy, no young girl, no lady. We not kill no rich man for no type of money. We not kill nobody for no type of fee. So yo, we gon' get up on this realness. Stop all this senseless killing. You don't worry about it, you don't care about it till it touch you when you feel it. No time for all of that silly. No more shooting them bullets. No time for all of them burials and them crazy people that shooting. I'm tired of all of this darkness. All it gives is pollution. That's for all of y'all. That's why we came up with this movement. This true story, you don't want it. I've been there and I done it. Can't live life without running. Can't go to prison and live up there and expect the people to be coming. No gun smoke, no robberies, no hurting people for this money. Educate yourself. You need to start now. Count your blessings, boy. And put the guns down. And put the guns down. We don't want your guns no more. People follow me. We don't want your guns no more. We don't want your guns no more. People follow me. We don't want your guns no more. We don't want your guns no more. People follow me. We don't want your guns no more. We don't want your guns
your feelings. Put the guns down, stop killing. I'm tired of losing, let's win it, boy. Don't throw your life in that prison. I'm staring up at that ceiling. Like if we knew better, we do better. Let's boil like swollen leather. Get this money any weather, every other day. Somebody take a life. That fame don't pay, man, when you gotta pay the price. Keep telling these young boys, man, they gotta make it right. Don't feed into the hype, don't be greedy for the life. All that anger and all the funny things, it'll make you lose your sight. Whether you're a white man or a colored man, it still don't make it right. Even in the dark, your future bright. Stay close to the family, keep it tight. Playing with them guns, you're doing life. Getting high on them drugs and lose it twice. See how them bendy streets. Them boys be playing just for keeps. Lose everything within a week. That life, it don't come cheap. Boy, don't be walking around sleep. It's so much more to life, people, please. Let's put the guns down, please.
We don't want your guns no more. People follow me. We don't want your guns no more. We don't want your guns no more. People follow me. We don't want your guns no more. We don't want your guns no more. People follow me. We don't want your guns no more. We don't want your guns no more. People follow me. We don't want your guns no more.
No gun smoke. Yeah, that.
Welcome to Real Conversations with Melody Fox. I'm your host, and I'm so glad to be here in the RL Hotel. This is a series that I created so that we can come together and have intimate discussions with people of note. Sister Soldier was one of my very first interviews, and the interview was profound. We're gonna grow Real Conversations, but you can get a feel of what this is about.